right, joined here on Coffee with the Crew, a new feature here on Crusaders Media. First guest is Tanner Fincaryk after opening weekend, a pair of losses against the Spruce Grove Saints. And Tanner, we'll get to that in a second, but just maybe more of an overarching look at what is a very different looking Crusaders team this year. A lot of graduating players in the way, of course, of Arjun Atwal, your Michael Beddings, your Carter Savoy has been replaced with some new faces. So just in your words, as one of the veteran players on this year's team, what does the room look like? What does the bench feel like? And contrast that to how it has been.
Yeah, it's most definitely a different feel, just even with experience-wise. Like, lots of those guys had lots of games in the league. So when you lose so many bodies there that have so much experience in the league, it's most definitely makes for a different looking team in the following year. But I mean, we got a lot of good young talent coming in, and we seem to be filling holes as best as we can. But yeah, it's working good so far.
How did you guys feel coming out of the preseason? I know you went 8-2 in those 10 games. That must have built a nice bit of buzz up heading into opening weekend.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we like that start a lot. I mean, it's a start to a preseason we wanted. And then obviously it didn't turn into the regular season start that we wanted. But I mean, it's kind of what we wanted. We got some wins under our belt, and we kind of got into it, and now we got to kind of try and turn into now the regular season play.
No, obviously I don't expect you to reveal too much here, but with a new group, a new core, I imagine there's some new systems that you guys have been trying to pick up, maybe a new power play, new penalty kill, that kind of thing. Just over the couple of games that we've gotten to see, it seems like maybe more dump and chase and sort of a different brand of Crusaders hockey. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, maybe a little bit for sure. I mean, we're like we said before, we lost a lot of very skilled players for this year, so a little bit of a different looking team. I mean, we're more of a not to say that we're not a skilled team, but we're more of a work hard, kind of below the goal line, and then make plays from there. And that's kind of why it's looking as a more dump and chase type team.
Do you get the sense that right across the North Division that there's a lot more parity? It seems that, all of the teams have had a significant amount of turnover, and particularly Spruce Grove. You mentioned you guys have sort of fallen down the ladder in terms of, man games played in the Alberta Junior League. So have the Saints. It's a very different balance of power, and it seems like this division is anybody's to grab.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, there's most definitely a lot of different looking teams because, yeah, like you said, Spruce has lost a lot of guys. We lost a lot of guys. It doesn't seem like anyone's coming in with a bunch of veteran players that have been in the league for a long time. It's kind of seeming like a lot of teams are kind of on a restart, to say, kind of thing. A little bit of some fresh faces in everybody's lineups. So it's most definitely looking like it's going to be kind of anybody's game in the North this year.
Give me an idea of what the impact of COVID is like. If you can sort of package it up nice, because I know you guys have your routine. It's got to be significantly altered because of what's going on. We're very privileged to even have you guys playing regular season games, as I'm sure you would agree with. So just can you kind of give me a sense of what interruptions you guys are dealing with because of the pandemic?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's even just things like we've been doing our warm-ups kind of like in very small quarters. Like one game we did them in our dressing room, even just back and forth in there. So it's stuff like that affects it for sure. And like even things like with the guys going out, like it's kind of harder. Like you go to get a bite and it's 6 guys to a table and you can't kind of all cram around together and kind of stay tight. So it's different in that extent, and kind of even building chemistry and like when you go out and stuff like that too.
Let's talk about this weekend's action specifically. So Friday night, you guys head down the highway. You're at the Grand Fear Arena. Pretty evenly contested game. I know you guys struggled through a little bit of it, but ultimately took it to overtime and then fell 4-3. And then on Saturday night, 4-2 loss on home ice. So just in your own words, sort of give me your your rundown of how you think things went this weekend, and maybe how they need to be different moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously need to be better. We were a bit sloppy in both games, especially in the Friday night game. It was more just kind of we couldn't really connect on anything, and more just sloppy play and kind of like pucks just like really not going our way. And I mean, so we need to be better there. But on Saturday, I thought we came out a lot better, but came out pretty flat in the third there and kind of let them take it to us. And then they put up a couple goals, and then found ourselves in a hole and kind of just couldn't get back in the end. So yeah, it's not what you'd like to see, but I mean, it happens, I guess.
And Drayton Valley, right around the corner, they were the team that handled Spruce Grove quite handily in the preseason. Eric Thurston's a hell of a hockey coach, as we know, and that's a team that is a very veteran squad. So do you have any sort of expectations as to how you guys are going to have to prepare in order to be maybe a little more ready for a home with Drayton Valley next weekend?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we got to prepare for them to come out firing. Like you said, they're a little bit more of a veteran team for the North Division opponents. But yeah, we're gonna have to come out and be very hungry on pucks and very hardworking, because Drayton Valley, from what I've known from them in the past, is they're always a team that won't let you have anything easily. So we're for sure gonna have to be prepared to battle hard, and it should be a good game.
Joined for the first time here by Cale Ashcroft. Cale, before we get into the weekend's action, I just want to start here. I mean, this is your rookie season as an 04, one of the younger players right across the Alberta Junior League, and you don't look out of place at all. Through 10 exhibition games, you had 3 points and seemingly fit right in. Just give me some thoughts on the transition from playing with the Elite 15s last year, the Northern Alberta Extreme, and making the jump up to Junior A hockey.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I think it was definitely a bigger step because like the speed and size is definitely a lot different. You have less time out there. And definitely one thing that's helped me quite a bit is Jeff, like our D coach. He's just been so great. He's given me so many tips, and I think he's made it a lot easier, and so have all my teammates, like giving me advice, what to do in certain situations. And yeah, it's been great so far, and I think my team's just helped me so much.
And in short order, and this is a team, Cale, you probably didn't necessarily think that you would have a chance at making if you rewind 6 months. But as we know, the pandemic has been created a really bizarre world, but there was a lot of turnover on this Crusaders team, and as a result, a lot of opportunity. And so you talk about somebody like Michael Benning leaving, and that left a role open that it seems that you've filled quite admirably to this point. So credit to you, first of all, for being able to make that jump. But was it a bit of a surprise to you to see success again, I say, as just an 04 birth year already?
I think a little bit, but after the first couple of games, I started just to play my game, and I felt more comfortable with the league. And I think that really helped me just to fit in and find my role, just to move pucks up to the forward, join the rush, and find my opportunities to create offense.
So you would, if you were going to describe your game, maybe to a scout or even to your humble broadcaster here, are you sort of a two-way defenseman, or in your words, what kind of hockey player are you?
I think I'm a good two-way defenseman. I take pride in my defense because I think that's very important. As long as you're not getting scored on, then you can join the rush and be more offensive. So I feel like I have really great vision for the ice as well. And I think just my playmaking and skating just to get out of certain situations is really good too.
And you mentioned Jeff Wojciechowski, and I know that in seasons past, he's been a really big sort of recruiting tool, if you will. A lot of defensemen seem to want to play for him and really like what he has to offer. Do you feel like he's maybe a good tool for you to be able to maximize everything that you bring to the ice already?
Yeah, I think Jeff's been amazing so far. Like in practices, he's always helping us, giving us like time before practice to shoot some pucks, work on all the little details. And I think just his attention to detail is really what helps us to get better every day.
Do you feel like there's pretty healthy competition for playing time on the back end as well? And you go down the list of guys that aren't necessarily in the lineup every night, and it looks like there would be, plenty of competition at practice and certainly in the games to earn your keep and earn your ice time.
Yeah, I think no matter what, just whoever's going, who's ready to play, I think those are the players that should be playing. And I think at the end of the day, it's always going to be a competition, not really a competition, but just whoever's playing the best is going to go because we need to win.
Is there anybody else around the North Division that you have played with growing up that's made the jump, or are you maybe ahead of the curve in terms of guys that you've been playing with throughout minor hockey to this point?
Nobody in the North really, but I have a couple friends on Okotoks that have their 16-year-olds. They're playing there.
Got you. Is there a little bit of, swagger, I suppose? Maybe not the best word for it. Hockey players tend to be pretty humble, but, making the jump at a young age, and it's got to be exciting for you deep down as well to be where you're at right now and with this program in particular.
Oh, yeah, it's very exciting. I mean, playing for the Crusaders is such an honor. It's such a prestigious program, and I feel very humbled and honored just to be a part of it.
Well, again, I say you've looked good through those 10 exhibition games, and then opening weekend arrives Friday night. You guys have the tough overtime loss to start the Suburb Series down at the Grant Fear Arena. And then the next night on the home opener, which is a very different feeling home opener from the last couple of seasons, only 100 fans in attendance. So, you guys are responsible for drumming up a lot of your own energy in that sense. Ultimately a 4-2 loss. What did you see this weekend out of your group, and maybe a couple things that need to be addressed ahead of next weekend's action against a pretty tough looking Drayton Valley squad?
I mean, Spruce works hard. They're definitely hard to play against, but I think we just need to be better. We just need to bear down on our opportunities when we're given them. And I think just we need to limit the turnovers. I think sometimes we have too many. And I think coming into practice next week, we just need to come in with the right mindset and just focus on getting better and preparing for the next weekend.
Let me ask you this. You're getting to share that practice surface with Matthew Savoy, Dylan Gunther, some former first overall Bantam draft picks. I know they're forwards, you're a defenseman, but are you watching anything in their practice habits, their preparation habits, anything that you're able to learn from even in such short time with them?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just the way that they approach the game and just their work ethic is definitely up there. And I think it's good to compete against them because they're such elite players. And I think just competing against them makes me better too.
And Cale, oftentimes, the goal of the player is the success of the team. But being that this is your rookie campaign, have you set anything personally that you'd like to accomplish, whether it's games played, points achieved, anything like that?
I mean, not yet, really. I mean, it's just such a short season, so we're just going to have to see what happens too. But, I mean, just to be a consistent player in the lineup and be producing every night and contributing to my role.